Alright everyone, we are live, and we're going to be starting our bunch of X and Y re-ranks. Today we'll be re-ranking Mienshao and Aegislash. They both got pretty decent times on my tier list, a 131 for Mienshao and a 133 for Aegislash. However though, I do truly believe that since my skill at X and Y is starting to get better, we're going to do these re-ranks without notes. See if we can get a better time. I mean, Mienshao will be a little hard because 131 on its own is still a very good time. But we'll give it a try. We're going to be starting off with Aegislash first. Hope you all had time to look over the stats. Essentially, this defense, the shield form has 150 defense and special defense and 50 attack and special attack. I actually found out Generation 8 nerfed it, so it was only 140 instead. They slightly nerfed it. I have not seen that run yet, Masters. I was real busy today. I just finished the voiceover for the Alolan Raichu video, coming out this Saturday. And before that, I was participating in an archipelago with some other people. I had to quit it though because one guy brought Dark Souls and was taking forever to do stuff because I think the guy was a noob or something. So I just made him an excuse that I had to leave. Yeah, I don't like it when people in public archipelagos bring Dark Souls. But anyway, Aegislash. We're going to be starting off with Swords Dance, Aerial Ace, King Shield, and Sacred Sword. We're hardly ever going to use King Shield. We're going to want to stay in our attack form. But I do remember in the first run, we did get plenty of resets because of our lower defenses. I did decide for the Nature and Hidden Power. I made Hidden Power Dark, even though in our stance form we get equal special attack and physical attack. We're going to want to prefer physical moves just because of Swords Dance. And Jolly Nature just for extra speed during our shield form, because for the first turn of the fight, we will always be in our shield form. So I figured having extra speed for that would be the way to go. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to hold on to Swords Dance and Sacred Sword for as long as we can. Let's see. I'm looking at the other TMs. It could be worth getting Shadow Ball or Shadow Claw. I would prefer Shadow Claw, but let me see which one's easier to get. I'm going to bring up the Solidex software here. Let's see. Where's Shadow Ball? Terminus Cave. Okay, that is decently out of the way. I remember that video. Okay, Shadow Claw's in Glittering Cave. Yeah, it's the cave with the Team Flare Grunts in it. So yeah, we'll get Shadow Claw there. So we'll have like Swords Dance, Aerial Ace, King Sword, and Shadow Claw. That's honestly just very good coverage. And after that, like, maybe theoretically we could teach Return over Aerial Ace, because Aerial Ace is only really good for Ramos and Karina. But on Karina, the only Pokemon of hers that can hit me is her Machoke's Rock Tomb. No other one of her moves can hit me, which is pretty funny. Yeah, other physical moves. Brick Break is just useless with Sacred Sword. And what else is there? Gyro Ball is useless. I guess theoretically Rock Slide could have some use. It is in Kuriway Town. It'd be pretty late into the game. It cannot learn Acrobatics, no. It is in Kuriway Town. Oh wait, it requires Waterfall, so you would have to backtrack for it. But it might help for Malva, so I might actually get it. Because we don't really have a good move for Malva, especially the Talonflame. Automatize for the speed boost? I don't think so. I don't want to waste a slot on the moveset. Besides, we're going to be a high level anyway. This is X and Y after all. Yeah, I think this will be a pretty simple solo run. But the trick is, can we get a better time with it? Alright, let's get started. Alright, we don't need a specific time of day, since we're not going to be getting Substitute, Flamethrower, or anything like that. We don't need a specific time. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm hoping the OT live action movie isn't a letdown like the Avatar Last Airbender movie was. I don't think so, because that movie that does or does not exist was made by, honestly, not the best kind of director. I'm not a fan of a bunch of Shyamalan's movies, but the Zelda movie is going to be made by, it's going to be directed by Miyamoto, or at least he'll have a big part in it. But that doesn't mean it won't suck, so we'll see. I do have high hopes for it, because looking at previous video game adaptations, the Sonic movies were very successful. Detective Pikachu was pretty good. I really wish they would make one based on the sequel already. And, what's another good one? The Minecraft movie is really good. And, I know there are plans for a sequel. I think it'll probably come out next year. Supposedly it's called A Minecraft Movie Squared, which is kind of a funny name. You know, squared has that little 2 at the end of the number. It's squared. But yeah. A lot of the video game adaptations have been really good. I still need to see the Galaxy movie. I still need to see Sonic 3. I'm quite behind on those. The sword versus weasel with long sleeves. Who shall win? Who shall win? Well, stance change has to activate a lot. That is true, yeah. But we do also start off with a pretty good set of moves. Dude, you guys can't see this, but in PokeLink, the little picture for Aegislash actually changes when I change forms. You guys can't see it, but it's actually really cool. Well, Eel, you should think of living somewhere with better internet. I'm just kidding, dude. Alright, I'm going to try to avoid these trainers by going through the grass. It's pretty annoying to avoid these guys by going through the grass, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But yeah, having access to Swords Dance and Aerial Ace should make the bug gym pretty easy. Is that a Mega Charizard X next to Lord Helix? It is. I actually bought it off Pokemon Center for like 50 bucks. Well, the Omanyte was 40 bucks. The Charizard was like 60 bucks, I think. Yeah, once I get my own place, hopefully pretty soon, maybe early next year, hopefully I can make the stream setup a lot better and have like a designated shelf. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to be using some Swords Dances. Just sweep with Aerial Ace. And thankfully, since this Pokemon is a Stone Evolution, it doesn't have level up moves. You got Xfinity? I've heard Xfinity internet isn't that great, but I wouldn't know. The X looks cooler than Y, but Y is better in competitive. Pretty much. It's great, but it depends on the weather. Yeah, I guess if the weather is real bad here, our internet can get affected. Oh, speaking of internet, the small town that I live in, finally, the cell towers in the area actually got upgraded. They are finally now 5G towers. After so long of 4G. Honestly, anything is better than Dish. I've never used Dish internet, but there was a small time we had to use Dish TV. But, Dish TV is terrible. I mean, we never used the Dish internet. I think I know someone who did, and they said it was terrible. Don't forget to heal. You actually get auto-healed after this fight. The reason I can tell is because I have PokeLink up on the side. I can see the health bar. I've thought of incorporating the health bar onto the overlay, but I thought it would have looked out of place. It's just there for me to look at. But I do need to come here to deposit anyway. Alright, I need some Paralyze heals. And some repels. Honestly, that auto heal is kind of pointless because even if it didn't exist, I would have just healed at the center anyway. It was planned to have 5G, but my uncle is retarded and protested against it because it's radioactive or something. Oh my god. There's more radiation coming out of the sun. Hey, Shadow. It ain't a microwave. Yeah, microwaves have more radiation than that. But yeah, on that route, the guy with the Kadabra is the only one worth fighting. Alright, so I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to try and delay these trainers, those two trainers, until after the palace. Because if I wait till after Par from Palace, I can fight them holding the amulet coin. So I can get more money. Because I did buy repels and some paralyze heals, but I don't have any escape ropes or potions. You're going to work for days for the summer? Are you, like, in college or something, and you're off for the summer? Is that what you're trying to say? Whoa, whoop. That would have been bad. Fun fact, radiation is only fatal in extreme doses, stuff like 5G and microwaves. And Wi-Fi isn't even going to come close. Here's another thing. There's actually radioactive material in bananas. You don't see people protesting bananas. You would have to eat, like, millions of bananas for it to equal uranium. And by the time that happens, you're going to be dead from the potassium overload anyway. Oh, Masters, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you, man. Is there a... Well, I know I'm in the middle of X and Y re-ranks, but if you do think of a Pokemon you want me to play in X and Y before I go over to Oras, just let me know. Alright, now I'm going to fight these people. Banana isn't even that radioactive. Oh, here's another thing that releases radioactive stuff. Granite. I don't remember what it's called, but there's this giant Grand Central Station. I believe it's in New York City. The whole entire, most of the buildings made out of marble and granite. That stuff releases a lot of radiation, but it doesn't affect people. I really should have used a swords dance. New York City's a mess. Yeah, and thankfully, I live nowhere near that place. Can I pick Oras? Well, yeah, you could, but if you pick Oras, you'll have to wait a while. Because after I'm done with the X and Y runs, I'm going to be doing a bunch of Pokemon Conquest streams for about a month to prepare for PSR. Then after that, I gotta do the Oras re-ranks, so you'd have to wait a while, but if you're okay with it... Did I get paralyzed again? Dude, why am I always getting paralyzed? Chernobyl is radioactivity all over the place. People in the viewer, it doesn't have enough place to go extremely deep into it. Yeah, there's parts of Chernobyl that are still not safe to go to. Then again, there's still parts of radiation leaking out of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But those cities are pretty much entirely rebuilt. Gives me a few... Lots of Pokemon to decide on. Alright. Little fun fact for all you YouTube members. Looking at my channel statistics, probably 2/3 of the revenue actually comes from members. Because the ad revenue has not been as great lately. And the members pretty much offset that a lot. Like, one person buying, like, the lowest level tier membership is the equivalent of, like, 200 people seeing ads on one video. People have a huge misunderstanding of risk. Yeah, kind of like another point where there's a lot of people who fear going on airplanes, even though there are like 50 times more car crashes than there are plane crashes. By that logic, people should be more terrified of cars. But it's not. It's just because whenever there's like an airplane crash, since they don't happen as often, they always appear on TV. You don't see a news report over like a guy rear-ending somebody. I guess maybe a local station could report some if, like, a car flipped on its head and killed somebody. I'm sure then it would get reported. But most car accidents don't get reported. Alright, I need escape ropes. I won't give you a bad one like Guzzlord. Yeah, that was bad. Dude, my repels won't even work. Alright, I gotta get Shadow Claw here. Hey, John. Oh, John, we got a new YouTube member. Masters became a member. Oh, wait. This way, Shadow Claw. Oh, no, it's not. I think it's the third one. Or if it's multiple car crashes. Yeah, true. Yeah. But you'd be surprised how many car crashes happen. Or just look up, like, how many people die every year from car crashes. Versus plane crashes. I'm sure there are some years where almost no one dies in plane crashes. Like, it's not that... It's very rare. Ooh, Kangaskhan. That's some good XP. John, Masters hasn't decided yet, but, he says he wants to wait till I go to Omega Ruby, and I told him that's going to be a while because I gotta finish up the X and Y re-ranks, and I gotta do some Conquest streams for a month. Because I gotta practice for the event. Oh, yeah. Yeah, extremely afraid of sharks. Yeah, almost no one actually dies from a shark attack. It's extraordinarily rare. I think more people get struck by lightning than get attacked by sharks. The only reason you would ever get attacked by sharks is if you just straight up swim in the middle of the ocean by yourself and a shark mistakes you for prey. But most people don't swim out far enough to where there are sharks. Opinion on Exploud? I know Scott said Exploud's a really good Pokemon, so I would assume it's a good Pokemon. Is that the Pokemon you want to see me play? Person died by touching a live wire. I have heard that can happen. I heard, like, during a tornado, for example, or a windstorm, if you're inside your car and a telephone pole, like, falls on your car, there are wires on the ground, you're actually supposed to stay in your car because the ground can be electrocuting. Exploud and X, since I'd like to see it sooner rather than later. Okay. But yeah, once the X re-ranks and the ORAS re-ranks are done, I'll essentially be pretty much on par with my skill in pretty much every game I do. So I'll go back to the old cycle. I just felt it was necessary to stop doing the other games for right now and just focus on Generation 6 because my skill and play in those gens is just very bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself the massage. +5 friendship, okay. Oh, Eel, thanks for becoming a member. Wow, 2 members in one day. I've never had that happen in a long time. I do appreciate that a lot. I'm guessing you're going to want to suggest something too? Alright, no need to do any training before Grant. Just rush straight to him. Excadrill. Okay, okay. Sheesh, I'll do Excadrill. I can probably pair it with Exploud and do like an Excadrill versus Exploud X Solar Run stream. Okay, I really should have used a Swords Dance. What's Generation X? Generation 6. Alright, use Sacred Sword right away, because it's going to go for Thunder Wave. This thing, I'll probably use one Swords Dance. Ow! Did anyone see if that was a critical hit bite? I don't know if that was a crit or not. Ow. You want me to do Gengar? Yes, it's been a while since you requested something, John. Oh, it wasn't a crit. Oh, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. Alright. This is unfortunate, but I may have to use Swords Dance on Omora. Dude. I'm just getting wrecked here. I should... King Shield would have helped? Honestly, yeah, it would have. Dude. I'll have to blackout train, yeah. Well, this is already going to be a pretty decent time loss for this Pokemon. Yeah, King Shield would have been good. What I could have done with King Shield was, on the Tyrant, when it would go for Bite after the Rock Tomb, I could get my defense back up. But here's the problem, actually. I'm not sure how much it would have helped, though. Because what I would have... Actually, no, it would have helped. No, there is the route to the north, but I'll just fight the one gym trainer I hadn't fought yet. I'm not going to start the run over because it's already been 24 minutes, and we have another Pokemon to get to. And besides, like, if Grant is the worst part of this run, then this will still be a huge improvement. Okay. So interestingly, at level 24, instead of going for Rock Tomb, he went for Bite. So it does look like if the Rock Tomb never happened, I would have actually survived. Yeah, definitely some painful resets, but we're still doing pretty decent so far. How would you rate Grant as a Rock-type gym leader? He's really good. Honestly, I think out of all the Rock-type specialists, he's generally the one I'm the most terrified of. Even Pokemon that have solutions for him are still hard. Strongjaw is a really good ability. That 60 speed will be a problem in the future. That is why I went Jolly. I'd say it's the second Olivia exists after all. Okay, yeah, good point. Olivia's the best Rock-type specialist. Yeah, I'm gonna be skipping, what's her face? Hedvig. Because, the throw still does have bulldoze. Maybe the Hulucha won't be able to hit us, I'm not sure, but I don't want to risk it. Dude. Did anyone see how that thing beat me? Because it looked like Shadow Claw was going to two-shot. No, Grant is not harder than Olivia. It is still Kalos after all. You gotta remember, what makes Olivia difficult to deal with is the fact that she has sturdy users. Next year, I will request Deoxys since it's your favorite. I mean, you could have requested Deoxys now, but you wanted to do X-Bot. You can still change your mind if you want. And I don't do the requests on a, like, once-a-year thing. I kind of don't have a strict, like, timeline when people can suggest one again. I just go off of, like, has it been a while? Rock is 100% the easiest? Honestly, in Fire and Leaf Green, I would say yes, because his AI can be exploited pretty easily. Like, if you purposefully keep your speed below Brock's Onyx, he will not go for Rock Tomb. Emerald Roxanne can be very difficult because she's got a Nose Pass, which is very tanky, and has Oran Berries. I'd say the worst Rock-type gym leader, probably Red and Blue Brock. The yellow version Brock is slightly better because it's got Bind, which is a pretty broken move in Gen 1. But I'd say the second, like, worst in terms of, like, how bad they are is the Ruby and Sapphire version of Roxanne. Because she has no Geodude and Nose Pass, and the Nose Pass is not holding an Oran Berry. The one thing that Ruby and Sapphire Nose Pass has going for it is it has Rock Throw in addition to Rock Tomb. So for Pokemon weak to rock moves, if you do get your speed low enough, it's not like Roxanne is just completely immune to using rock moves like an Emerald. Like an Emerald, if you underspeed the Nose Pass, it won't go for Rock Tomb unless it detects a kill. That will not be a thing in Sapphire because it has Rock Throw as well. Best Dragon-type specialist? Let's see, there's Claire, Lance, Drake, Claire, Drake, Lance, Drozna, and I think that's about it. Drayden. Honestly, I think the best Dragon-type specialist will probably be the White 2 Challenge Mode version of Drayden, because he's got a pretty nice variety for a team. The problem with Drake, including in the remix, is he has way too many Pokemon that are 4 times weak to Ice. Way too many of them. I mean, the remix did give him a Kingdra, and his Altaria is the lead with Moonblast, so it's decent, but still a lot of 4x weaknesses. I mean, I guess Iris could count as a Dragon Specialist. I kind of don't want to because she has other Pokemon as well, and I feel like that's kind of cheating. But yeah, I would say Round 2 Lance is probably the best Dragon-type specialist because Round 2 Lance, I've had plenty of Pokemon where the hardest fight was not with Red, it was with Round 2 Lance. I mean, you don't have to do Round 2 of the League in your Heart Gold runs. I like to do it because it just smoothens out the level curve from Blue to Red. And it's not that much added time. It's only an extra 5 trainers. You would count Iris because of white? Yeah, but I wouldn't count her champion team, though. Well, I guess then again, Lance is a Dragon-type champion, and I counted him. Okay. Oh, whoops. Alright, so let's count Iris. Here's the problem. Her Haxorus is not that great. It likes to just waste its first turn with Dragon Dance. Hardly any Pokemon I've ever played in Y2 Challenge Mode actually struggles with that Haxorus. It usually struggles against something else, like the Hydreigon, or the Lapras, or the Aggron. Hardly anything struggles with that Haxorus. You'll take Deoxys instead? Tell you what form of Deoxys? I'm assuming just the normal form, right? You know what? Where's the Meteorite? Where's the Meteorite in this game? The one that lets you change Deoxys forms. I think it'll be very interesting to just play with a regular Deoxys, but I can change my form whenever I want. I think that'd be a pretty interesting way to do the run. I didn't do that in Emerald because that's not how the Deoxys forms work. I've heard a lot of people say Rihan is actually a pretty good Dragon Specialist, but it's been a long time since I've naturally played through Sword and Shield. I only played it once. The normal form's the best overall, though. That is a good point, but there is one difference you gotta keep in mind. All of the different forms have different level up moves. So what I could do sometimes is change its form just to teach it a move. I believe when you change its forms, it does keep the moves. Oh, I need to withdraw my HM users. I'll do that in Coumarine. I'm gonna get a track just in case. Should I get the leftovers? Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna get it as a safety thing. Oh, right. Oh, well. This is a great run so far. I mean, the resets at Grant could have been prevented if I had kept King Shield, but yeah, it went okay. Okay, hold on. Do I have a vitamin? I was at 254 friendship. I was one friendship short of the lucky egg. Once the repels run out, I'll use those super repels. Has Zinnia ever given you trouble? No. Zinnia is honestly pretty bad. I really like Zinnia as a character, and I like Zinnia's like battle music, but there's a reason I'm officially deciding to remove the Delta episode from my Omega Ruby runs. It just doesn't add anything of value to the run. It just doesn't. The only good major fights are the Emerald Wallace fight and the Zinnia fight, but the Zinnia fight is extraordinarily easy. I guess sometimes with slow Pokemon you have to plan for that Noivern, but the Emerald Wallace team is a joke. And it just makes the Omega Ruby runs just artificially longer, so I'm actually going to be removing them while I do the re-ranks. I think maybe if Zinnia was actually had a more competent team, then maybe I would have chose to keep it. But I don't know. I just want the runs to start taking less time. Because right now, my S tier is like sub 140, which is pretty long. I could easily remove 20 minutes off of that, because the whole Delta episode is about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how good the Pokemon is. It's mostly just flying from place to place. Do we have a plan for the Smogon bird? Who is that again? When you say Smogon bird, I think Lugia. Talonflame. Oh, for Malva's Talonflame, I'm going to be backtracking for Rock Slide. Alright, I do need to be careful in the Team Flare section coming up because my defenses are not great. The Team Flare section is not good for glass cannons. Oh my god. I'm not worried about Mega Gyarados. Better save here. This guy has a Houndoom. Alright, thankfully, if you use Swords Dance, you do remain in your shielded form. So, that's a good opportunity. It might be useful to backtrack for the leftovers from Malva. Either that or I'll use the Expert Belt. I once hit a Mega Gyarados using Annihilate Breach Fist thanks to Defiant. What's Defiant do? At least we should outspeed the Pyroar. Yeah, that's good. We probably won't outspeed the Talonflame, which will probably be a problem. Actually, I did not get the Quick Claw. I think when I go back into Lumio City, do you guys think I should go get the Quick Claw just in case? Because there is a chance we might need to use it. Yes? Yeah, I think so. If your stat gets lowered, your attack goes up instead. Let me guess, the Mega Gyarados started out as Gyarados, and it hit you with Intimidate, correct? I was going to suggest King Shield for Malva. Honestly, that's also a good idea. We could use a Heart Scale to get King Shield back. Because if we get King Shield back, then we can make sure when Talonflame comes out, we can use King Shield to protect ourselves and have the higher defense. Level 65 Talonflame Flare Blitz versus level 75 Aegislash Shield, guaranteed knockout. Oh man. So are you saying we need to invest in HP up and irons? Is that what you're saying? Sorry, that's the sword stats. Oh. Honestly, I think with Swords Dance, it might still be a better idea to buy irons and HP ups anyway. I think we do need to work on our bulk. I think the vitamins I'll buy are Carbos and irons and zincs. Probably some HP ups if I have the money. My god, I hate this route. Guaranteed 3-hit. I don't know. I still think investing in irons and zincs might be a good idea. Because you saw how close a lot of these fights were. But I think having extra bulk will help. Wow, unlucky. 2 Gravelers. Alright, so I'm trying to remember what the trainers are like in here for training. If I remember, the first 2 floors are pretty decent. The 3rd floor is filled with garbage trainers. Actually, the 4th floor is good. I think the 1st floor... I think it's just the 1st and the 4th floor. I think the other floors suck. Okay, the 1st floor is garbage. I'll remember that. Yeah, I think it's just the 4th floor that's good, because the 4th floor had the ace trainers. So yeah, let's just ignore the next couple of floors. Actually, this floor has Rising Stars. Rising Stars have pretty decent Pokemon. Can anyone look up what Pokemon these trainers on the 2nd floor have? Oh wait, no, it's the 3rd floor with the Ace trainers. Oh wait, no, the 1st floor was the first. Yeah, this is the 4th floor. Thankfully, when it spits you out of the elevator, you're lined up just properly to just run straight to the right and go to the next trainer. Dude, everything has static. The 4th floor, that floor sucks. Honestly, yeah, I think it does. I think the only floor where it's worth fighting all the trainers is the floor with the Ace trainers. But Eel, did you look at the floor with the Rising Stars? Like the one mandatory one I fought with the Raichu. What about the trainers on that floor? Are they any good? Trying to, but my internet sucks. Ah, that's alright, take your time. Alright, let's go quickly get the... the Quick Claw. There we go. Keep holding Lucky Egg. Who would you consider the most difficult trainer? That's not an easy question to answer because a lot of the trainers in Victory Road can give you resets depending on the Pokemon. Rant always exists. This rival fight specifically can be hard sometimes. It really depends on what's weak to what. There's not a solid answer for that. How did the Nidoqueen go yesterday? I couldn't say the girlfriend wanted lunch. It's her Pokemon, what do I choose? You're supposed to choose Nidoqueen. You're supposed to say, sorry, I already have a queen in my life. You're supposed to say that. See how it goes for you. And John, I kind of can't answer that here because I'm gonna accidentally provide spoilers. But it went how you think it would. Which trainer do you not look forward to battling? Probably the final 3 veterans in Victory Road. On average, most Pokemon get a reset to at least one of those people. But they're mandatory. I mean, there is Hedwig in the Reflection Cave, but she's an optional trainer, so I don't think she counts. Keep the protein. You know, I probably don't want to use the protein. I'd rather buy a different vitamin. Okay, let's see. I'm going to want 3 Carbos. 5 iron and 5 zinc. Alright, so now I'm going to hold the amulet coin for the gym. Because if I hold the amulet coin for the entire gym and for the Pokeball factory, I'll get another $50,000. How much longer? Imagine how much longer they'd be without candies. I mean, they're still long anyway. But well, here's the thing, Don. There's rare candies in every Pokemon game. Really? Dude. Knock it off. Oh my god, dude. Why are you just spamming Roar? Dude, stop it. I'm gonna murder this thing. My rule is I have to switch immediately back. I can't just have it kill an HM user, but holy crap, this thing is annoying as hell. Okay, finally. Did you say Platinum gives you too many, making the game easy? I still stand by that, but it doesn't mean the game is completely easy. It front loads a lot of the difficulty. Like, generally the most difficult fights in Platinum are the first 5 gym leaders. Like, Gardenia, Maylene, Crasher Wake. Like, Crasher Wake is a difficult fight for a lot of runs, but then once you beat Crasher Wake, you get access to more candies. Byron, most of the time, is a joke. And then usually by Candace, you're in your mid to high 50s. It's just the difficulty's front-loaded. By the way, Sacred Sword ignores defense boosts. I did not know that. Good to know. So, Eel, I'm guessing you weren't able to look at that whole second floor thing in the gym? If not, I can just look it up after this run's over. Whoops. Alright, let's see if I remember the name of these executives. Or the admins. Bryony and, can't remember the other one. Celosia and Bryony. Okay. Bryony and Celosia. Celosia and Bryony. So if they had half as many candies, would Cynthia be more of a threat? Probably, but here's the other problem. The hardest trainer in Platinum for most Pokemon is not Cynthia, it's actually Cyrus. Because Cyrus's team is very good. Most Pokemon want to use all the rare candies for Cyrus, and that naturally just makes you very overleveled for Cynthia. $62,000, okay. Alright, instead of getting any other vitamin, I'm just going to get 3 HP ups. Do I need to buy more healing items? Honestly, not really. There we go. We're running essentially a defensive Aegislash. Now I'm going to need to re-equip the Lucky Egg. I believe this guy is always looking... Yeah, that guy always looks down. Okay. Not really in a solo run context because of how bad the Spiritomb is. That is true, yeah. Pretty much every game she's in, that Spiritomb is just so easy to set up on. I mean, sometimes it can actually be bad for the sole reason if you don't have a good move against her. So, like, she could just hit you with, like, Ominous Wind or Silver Wind or something like that. But something that's interesting, if you ignore the whole random AI aspect of Diamond and Pearl, I hate this game. If you ignore that whole aspect, Cynthia's Pokemon are higher leveled and have far greater speed stats. And there's half as many candies, so Cynthia in Diamond and Pearl is actually more terrifying than in Platinum. In Spiritomb weak to Fairy? Fairy was not invented in Gen 4, Dominic. Okay. I essentially lost that just because the previous fight paralyzed me, and I should have healed that up. Oh, absolutely, John. If that Spiritomb had Curse... Oh my god, yeah, it would be a lot harder. Well, then again, Karen's Spiritomb has Curse, and it's not exactly that great. Actually, John, I don't think it would have made a difference. Pokemon would just be running Substitute. And remember, it wasn't until Generation 5, I believe, where Swords Dance where Curse actually bypasses Substitute. It did not in Gen 4. So honestly, I don't think it would have mattered. There we go, that's better. It used Destiny Bond. Yeah, so did Karen's. I think Karen's had Destiny Bond as well. All right, we're not going to need Hidden Power. Alright, so right now, honestly, looking at the 1 hour mark and where we are, this thing is performing more similarly to Greninja. And looking at our tier list, Aegislash is behind Greninja. So there is a chance we can move a little bit further up in the S tier. Ow. You also get auto-healed after that rival fight. How do you evolve Yamask into Runerigus and ZA? Trying to remember how. In one of the hyperspace dimensions, there's a little rock structure. Oh wait, you have to go under a specific bridge in Lumio City. You have to walk under a very specific bridge. Somewhere on the east side of the city. It's like one of those giant bridges. Still, Sub-Hour is another move. Still, Substitute is another move you have to waste a slot on. I was only saying she has to stop from setting up. Blue's 6 battle is actually harder because it's champion team. Because of... John, can you please retype that? I can't understand any of that. You made so many spelling errors. Blue's 6th battle is harder in blue because champion because of Sandat. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, I don't mean to be mean, dude, but I couldn't understand any of that. Are you trying to say the champion fight is harder in red and blue because of sand attack? That's not a good take. The champion doesn't even have sand attack in red and blue in the champion fight. I'm pretty sure it does not have sand attack. You're thinking of the remix. The remix Pidgeot had sand attack. Pidgeot essentially lost access to sand attack after, I believe, Rival 5 in red and blue. Ow, I got burned. I got burned. Uh-oh. That's a reset. Do you have to have a specific amount of HP? I believe you do, yes. Okay, I'll set up a bit more. But yeah, no, John. Hard disagree either way. The champion fight is not harder in red and blue because of sand attack. The champion fight is way harder in yellow. The teams are actually competent. Sky attack. I was saying the champion fight is worse. That's the equivalent of saying it's better in red and blue. That's just completely wrong. Like, I've done plenty of red and blue and plenty of yellow runs, and that is just not true. Dude, I need to use Swords Dance while I'm still in my defense form. I've got to quit doing that. Oh, the Tauntium is here. He's comparing the champion to Rival 6? Wait, Rival 6 in red and blue? Rival 6 in red and blue doesn't have sand attack. Why are you saying Rival 6 in red and blue is a... Well, I guess there is an argument for Rival 6 being better in red and blue than the champion. But... I mean, he still does have that, he still has that Rhyhorn with bad moves. The Execute does have, like... I think the Execute does have better moves. But no. Are you saying the Pidgeot loses sand attack after Rival 5? Yes. Yes, it does, John. It absolutely does. Rival 6 in the Champions Pidgeot likes using Agility and Whirlwind. Break time. The other Rising Stars have Manectric and Magneton. So Raichu, Manectric, and Magneton. Okay, so it seems like if I do decide to do optional training, whether it's for the XP or for the money, only do the floor with the Rising Stars and the floor with the Ace Trainers. Do not do the other floors. You know what, John? You still want me to play Gengar in X version, correct? For your member requested run? One of the Pokefans is level 34 Pikachu. He's just inspired by Ash. What else can I say? Which villains from any of the gems have similar evil plans? I mean, probably Cyrus and Lysander. I'd say Giovanni and Ghetsis have similar plans too. If you want, otherwise what do you have in mind? John, you're a YouTube member. You have the priority. Just don't suggest Ditto. If you try to suggest Ditto, I will say no. Is there something I wanted to get? There we go. I don't think so, not right now. Oh, I've actually started playing a little bit of Minecraft again recently in my single-player hardcore world that I haven't played in for like 6 months prior. I've still been trying to keep up on the newest Minecraft updates via YouTube just to see what's new in the game. I actually randomly just found a new music disc. I had no idea it was in the game. I actually knocked back a gas fireball coming at me, and it actually dropped a music disc called Tears, which I didn't even know they added that music disc. So, I actually listened to it in the jukebox, and I listened to it on YouTube as well. It's a very good track, my gosh. I'd play it on stream, but I'm worried I'm going to get copyright claimed if I do that. John, I'm only going to be doing X version for a tiny bit longer until I finish the re-ranks, and then after that's done, I'm going to be immediately moving over to Omega Ruby. Because just like X and Y, my skill in Omega Ruby is very bad. So, if you want something done, it's going to be in X or Omega Ruby, otherwise you're going to have to wait a while. If you don't want it done in X or Omega Ruby, then that's fine then. But I'm just saying, you'd have to wait a while. Yeah, I've seen the sulfur biome, the new autumn... I think the new autumn tree biome is still in snapshots. I don't think it's officially in the game yet. I saw the Minecraft movie. It had fun moments because Jack Black... I'm not an avid Minecraft player. Yeah, my mom actually watched that movie on her own at some point. I had no idea she did. She's only familiar with Minecraft, like, as a game. She's not familiar with, like, the actual rules of the game. She just knows it's a blocky game. She just really likes Jack Black. The thing is with Jack Black, he pretty much always plays himself in, like, every movie he's ever in. He acts the same in every movie. Avoid the creakings. I knew about the pale oak forests. I actually explored it in that world specifically. The creaking is very easy to avoid. You just don't go in there at night. Easy. Especially the panda. I like the panda. I'm gonna cushion our fall with this water bucket. Dude, that movie had a lot of memeable moments. I'm quite confident when a Minecraft movie Squared comes out, I can guarantee you movie theaters day one are gonna have like entire SWAT teams outside of every theater door. Because they do not want another chicken jockey incident. I've never heard of Crocs. One of my favorite, like, OG Minecraft YouTubers was probably Paul Soares Jr. I watched him a lot when I was young. Like, before I ever owned Minecraft, I was just fascinated with the game, but I couldn't buy it. You know what? I'm actually going to use my candies now. Such a Gen Z movie. It is. I have not heard of that person either, no. I mean, there was a time I used to watch Ant Venom. I haven't really watched his stuff in years. Do you do retro achievements? No, I do not. I never watched any of Technoblade's videos, but I knew who he was. I actually thought it was very sweet they actually referenced Technoblade in the movie with that pig on a crown. Dominic is, are you just trolling me, or did they actually add that? Because it sounds like something they would add. Kind of like that whole, like, bunny rabbit toast, Jeb, rainbow sheep. Sounds like something they would add, but I never heard of them actually adding that. Are you sure that's not a mod? Good thing using Ghost vs. Dark didn't backfire. I think it was because I was at +6. I hate these guys. I find it weird to want to play the game for achievements. I'm not a huge achievements person. Only Bedrock? Wouldn't surprise me if it was only Bedrock. It's always annoying, though, that all those comments under, like, the Minecraft YouTube account's posts, the first comment is usually a bot or a young kid saying, like, fix Bedrock Mojang, or fix Mojang Bedrock, or Mojang Bedrock fix, or something. Just some stupid comment. And what's stupid is YouTube keeps putting them up top. Even if the comment only has like 12 likes and the one below it's got 2,000, they always put the fix Mojang Bedrock comment right on top of it. I don't know why. It's so annoying. I see it on other channels too. I've seen the official Pokemon YouTube channel make some community posts where that was the top comment, was fix Mojang Bedrock. Like, I cannot stand that joke. This joke is just stupid. I mean, it originally started, yeah, because Bedrock Edition had a lot of bad bugs in it, but from what I've heard, a bunch of them were fixed, but that doesn't matter. People are still going to comment that. Because it's just a joke in their eyes. It's a lifestyle. You have a self-destruct button? It kind of reminds me when I watched, one of the Luke the Notable hardcore videos. I just got burned. When I watched one of those videos, on his land, he created a giant TNT block out of wool and filled it with TNT, and he even hardwired it with a button and a bunch of fail safety switches. So if you wanted to, you could actually nuke the entire property. It's really funny. What are we ranking here, John? What would you say is the hardest champion fight from Gen 1 to Gen 7? One is Red, Rematch Lance. I would not count Rematch Lance as a champion, because... Actually, here's my definition. How about instead of champion fight? How about final fight? Like for Emerald, I wouldn't consider Wallace, I would consider Steven. So let's try that. What is the hardest final fight that I do in my runs? I would not think it's Red. Dude. Honestly, I think out of all the games I do, I think the hardest, like, final fight that I do is probably the Emerald Steven fight. A lot of Pokemon struggle with that fight badly. The Oras Steven fight is actually way easier than the original game, simply just because of the whole Ghost Dark Steel interaction being changed. Would it be possible if the Discord server people can share their... You can ask about that. That's fine. That's part of why I don't understand Minecraft, or you can't stand Minecraft. That makes sense. Alright, 1, 2. Red and Harkles the Silver for first stage solos. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, though, round 2 Lance can also do that. Alright, this has to be a 3. Dude, I fucked it up. 3. Okay, no, that was a 2. Never mind, never mind. I mean, John, or Dominic, I believe I do have a channel in there dedicated to Minecraft. If Steel in Gen 6 still resisted Ghost and Dark, then the Steven Stone fight in Oras would be a lot harder. I mean, it also doesn't help the fact that his Aggron and Skarmory and Oras have Sturdy. The Aggron having Sturdy is actually pretty bad, because it'll usually like to use, like a Heavy Slam. You said final fights? Honestly, I don't... Okay, let's think of actual final fights. Let's see. There's the champion in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Red in Crystal. Steven Stone in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Round 1 champion Fire and Leaf Green. Cynthia in Diamond and Pearl Platinum. Red and Heart Silver. Getsis in Black and White. Iris in White 2. Diantha, Steven Stone again. It's not going to be Zinnia, because I'm officially going to change my rules. And Kukui. Okay, you know what? The absolute hardest final fight, and out of all the games I do, is Professor Kukui. Imagine if he did the Oras Steven rematch. The only difference is that he has a Carbink. Carbink is not that good. That Lycanroc lead is brutal. It absolutely is. Alright, so our original time with this Pokemon, I believe, was a 139 or 138. I do think we're going to beat that by quite a bit. Well, here's the other thing with Gen 6. In Generation 6, Mega Evolutions did not have their new speed stats until the next turn. So when Metagross Mega Evolves into Mega Metagross, it still has the original Metagross speed for that one turn. That was actually fixed in Gen 7. So if it was properly fixed, there could be some Pokemon where Metagross will Mega Evolve, then become faster. It was a 132. You're probably going to barely beat it. I think I might finish this with like a 127, 128. Aerodactyl's in the rematch? Woo, Aerodactyl. Oh no. But yeah, no, the only game I like doing round 2 of the league is Heart Gold, Soul Silver, specifically just to smooth out the level curve for red. Like, the game feels more complete. If round 2 of the league was unlocked after red, then I would not do it. You have another Mon? John, look at the title and thumbnail. Yes, I'm doing 2 Pokemon at once for the next several X and Y streams. It's because I want the X and Y re-ranks to be done as fast as possible so I can get towards practicing Pokemon Conquest. You know what's funny? I have essentially had my final moveset literally since Glittering Cave. I added Shadow Claw and I haven't changed anything else. I can't wait for Conquest, I love that game. Yeah, and after I do a bunch of practice where I feel like I'm quite confident with the route and the ability to do the run, I'm going to have somebody join me for a couple of other streams and we're going to do commentary practice. So basically, I'm not going to bother reading chat at all, and we're going to basically pretend we're at the event, and we're just going to give commentary about the game. And I will have to commentate on my route and stuff. And then when the day comes, it'll be streamed on the Pokemon Speedruns Twitch page. Well, I would technically stream my end on my own personal Twitch as well, which I multi-stream. Oh shoot, I forgot Rock Slide. You know, I don't think I really need it. Why Staraptor? It has more range than Lapras, its attacks do more damage, and it can go over walls. It makes the cracks per fight a lot better. I should have used, for some reason I thought Noivern was part normal type. Okay, that Druddigan has rough skin, but Elena's did not. Okay, that's good to know. Dominic, I ignore half of what you say because you're always off topic. I usually only read your stuff if it's relevant. Torment. Yeah, I think investing in bulk was 100% the right call for vitamins. Okay. Well, I should not have used Shadow Claw on that Scizor. I should have used Sacred Sword so I could use Shadow Claw for the Aegislash. Okay, that was my bad. I was trying to do a Pokemon Fact Challenge. Oh. Alright. I guess I need an extra Swords Dance for Klefki. Or you know what? Expert Belt. Hey, Wickstrom's difficult sometimes. There's no Conquest versus videos. I don't know where you would get that idea from. Oh, you mean with, like, Lapras versus Staraptor? I'm not doing that. Lapras route is slower. I don't like it. Alright, Swords Dance, Noble Roar, one more, Flamethrower. Okay, the problem is we do not outspeed the Talonflame, which is a problem. That's an issue. It's an issue of speed. Quick Claw? Yeah, you're right. We're gonna have to use Quick Claw for this fight. We gotta get the Quick Claw clutch on it. There's no other way. I still think, though, we need a Swords Dance, because I don't think Shadow Claw is gonna defeat the rest of our Pokemon, including the Torkoal. Nope. Yeah, there's a decent chance we may not be our first run. But you never know. This essentially just boils down to Quick Claw, which is a 20% chance. Dude, that was a critical hit, dude. It might go to A tier. Okay, if this second playthrough is slower, I'll stick to the first run. So no matter what, it'll stay in S tier. Yeah, Rock Slide wouldn't have helped either. Holy cow, dude, give me the Quick Claw. But yeah, I just don't think without at least +1, I don't think the Torkoal's gonna go down. So I think we do need the Swords Dance. Oh, I actually survived. Okay, we'll take that. There we go. Speed's the issue? Yeah, but the problem is that Talonflame has 183 speed. It's the fastest Pokemon in the game. We're never outspeeding that thing. Alright, if we can first try Diantha, we'll barely beat the first run. Which I think we should. It'll probably be about a minute faster. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, thankfully it just used Reflect. $131.19. Barely. I mean, I think the Hawlucha didn't really have anything to attack me with. I know it's got Flying Press and Poison Jab. I think it has Rock Slide. But yeah, this was barely faster than the first run. It had X Scissor. Ah, okay. I'm gonna speed this up. You know, the actual speedruns ended beating AZ. Well, this is going to affect the game time, I think. But you're not required to win this fight. Whatever. 131.19. Alright, so let's take a look at our old results. 12/6/2025. We're going to set this to today. We went from a 133.59 to a 131.19, so about a 2-minute improvement. Level 82 to 82. We went from 12 resets to 13 resets, 2 blackouts to 3. So we actually got an extra reset and an extra blackout. But yeah, we'll take a look at the game time when the credits end. You lost the champion position to AZ. Yep, AZ's the champion now. $5.50 game time. Dude, from a 618 to a 550. Alright, so this moves it from in between Granbull and Walrein to in between a Veltal and Mienshao. It was not able to outperform Greninja. But yeah, Mienshao is just going to completely destroy. But yeah, I'll let you guys look over the moveset for Mienshao. I'll let y'all look that over while I set up the new save file. Mienshao, female. What stats do we got? 125 attack, 105 speed. I believe Mienshao's in the medium fast group, so honestly, I think no need for any. I think just adamant nature will do. Alright, inner focus. Regenerator is useless. Reckless. I would rather not use recoil moves. I'll just use inner focus. Prevent flinches. Hidden Power Dark. I'm not going to be using Hidden Power. And our starting moves will be Meditate, Fake Out, Detect, and Pound. Not really the best of starting movesets, which is a little unfortunate. Your rival loves to use Fake Out. Yep, now we're going to use Fake Out too. Probably not for long, though. Yeah, OBS froze for a sec. I saw that. What the hell happened to this? What happened to the cropping on this? It's all shifted over. Let me fix that. Yep, there we go. That's better. Scrappy? This thing does not have Scrappy. Man, I remember when I first played these Pokemon, I still used the old overlay. Do you guys remember my old ugly overlay? Dude, I recorded it on that. Oh, you mean like Pokemon with Fake Out using Scrappy Fake Out on Mimikyu? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Where's Acrobatics? It's in Koriway Town. Not Koriway. It's in Shalure City. You can save Scum for it. But... oh, wait. This is Aegislash's TM set. Okay, yeah, we do get Acrobatics, but the question is, like, the cold winter? You're talking about cold winter when it's summer for us. What happens when you're in the south versus the north? Alright, so let's take a look at our moveset. Let's see, starting with Pound, we get Double Slap at 17. We're going to have to just teach Return as soon as possible. We don't get a good fighting move until Force Palm at 29. Actually, scratch that. Rock Smash by TM. We're definitely going to need to purchase Swords Dance as soon as we get to Lumiose. Teach Rock Smash when we get access to it. And hopefully get Force Palm as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Brick Break is all the way in Terminus Cave. It's not that out of the way, but our other best fighting move would be Drain Punch, but the problem is Drain Punch has less PP. But you know, use a PP up, it won't be that bad. You'll have access to 2 PP ups by the time you get to Brick Break. And theoretically, you could just use High Jump Kick, but using Swords Dance, that makes it really risky. Honestly, I think Swords Dance, Drain Punch, Acrobatics, and Power Punch could be useful. Well, maybe, but here's the thing, John. I'm going to be using Swords Dance, and I'll most likely have Force Palm by the time I get Power Up Punch. Oh wait, there is Low Sweep. Where is Low Sweep? I know it's... I just got it with Chestnut. Tower of Mastery. You know, that's 65 power. You know what, guys? Low Sweep is actually going to be better than Drain Punch. Slightly less power, more PP. So yeah, Low Sweep, Swords Dance, Acrobatics. Acrobatics is counterproductive to Lucky Egg. That's true, but when you also think about it, it's only 5 power weaker than Aerial Ace. But here's the thing, I don't like getting Aerial Ace. I have to withdraw my HM users early, then immediately deposit them. It's very annoying. But some other options, probably Thief. Do we get Thief? We don't get Thief. We get Payback, though. Where's Payback? Geosenge Town. You know what? I think Payback might be a better move to have for coverage. Because we need coverage for ghost types. So you know what? I think Low Sweep, Swords Dance, Payback, and... Return? Probably Return, yeah. Maybe Rock Tomb. We get Rock Tomb? We do get Rock Tomb. Okay. Is U-turn worth it? Not an X and Y, it ain't. This ain't Sun and Moon, John. Alright, so I think here's our moveset. Swords Dance, Low Sweep, Payback, and Rock Tomb. Rock, Dark, and Fighting. Fighting and Rock is already perfect coverage against almost everything. And Dark added on top of that is going to be good for ghost types. Rock Slide. The one problem with Rock Slide, John, at X and Y, it's locked behind Waterfall. You don't get Waterfall until after you beat Wolfric, which is the 8th and final gym. And you have to backtrack for it. It's very out of the way. Our dogs are just loud. Not much you can do about it. That scared me, though. The best Pokemon get Power Punch just to lose it is Mega Kangaskhan. You know what's funny about it losing it? Power Up Punch is not... Yeah, Power Up Punch is not in Champions, even though it was in ZA. Anyway, I think it's time we get started. We don't need any specific time of day things. I don't know if... Actually, I think it's worth getting Acrobatics just for Ramos. Anyway. Our old time to beat is a 1:31:30. You know, even for current modern play standards, that's going to be hard to beat. But we'll give it a try. 3, 2, 1, go. Poison Jab for Dianthos Gardevoir? Probably. Oh, I'm still on the higher speed. Probably not, because we're going to be using Swords Dance on Hawlucha, and we'll probably just use Payback on it. I don't think it's worth it. Sucks, Mega Kangaskhan couldn't use Parental Bond in ZA, but Mimikyu, Aegislash, Swords of Justice got their abilities in ZA. I mean, Parental Bond is just a broken ability. You know what's funny? Right across the street from the shop that only sells Pokeballs, there's a shop that only sells potions. But that is not useful to go to. It's never worth going there. Alright, what's our second Pokemon going to be? Scatterbug again. You know what's gonna suck? I'm gonna have to use Meditate and Pound for the gym leader. I guess a fortunate thing for us is the Surskit will be easy to set up on. How's Champions been going? I tried to play offline in the Discord server, but Shadow Stitch kept bullying me for being a noob. And he kept saying how much Champion sucks, and that 3v3 is cringe. And then I'm like, well, what about the Battle Tower and the Battle Frontier? Those all do 3v3s. And they said, yeah, they're cringe too. I'm like, okay, fair point. I liked 6v6s when I did them in Scarlet and Violet. It's just sometimes the 6v6s, the battles just took so long. Sometimes it's nice to just do quick battles. But sometimes it's kind of interesting, like trying to predict what the team of 3 is going to be. There's like an interesting thing to it. And it doesn't make King Gambit and Basculegion as overpowered. I have not made it into Master Ball. I've been stuck in Ultra Ball Rank 2 for 2 hours yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Axu likes to watch me do Gen 7 runs in the Discord, even though he hates Gen 7. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he wants to see, like, how bad I play or something. I don't know. Axie's a good guy. He's helped me in some of my Sun runs, even though he doesn't like Gen 7. Didn't you openly admit he gave you bad advice? I mean, Eel is my Gen 7 helper. Axie helps out with members' solo run requests from like non-Generation 7 games. I gotta heal up. I'm gonna see if I can purchase Swords Dance right away. No, I cannot. Dude, I should have gotten those X speeds. Yeah, but still, it is experience. Yeah, I get it. Can we learn Bulldoze? No, we cannot. Okay. I think the camera clipped through the Serena's hair. Alright, I'm gonna replace Pound with Return. My friendship is 128, but try to divide that by 2.5. I think that's slightly over 40. So I think Return is better than Pound right now. Someone can do the math. It's, oh, now 130. It's 130 divided by 2.5. Oh, yeah. Pelipper, Mega Swampert teams are very deadly to me. That's 51? Oh, okay. I'm not going to bother with the Quick Claw because of our speed. Now 52. How did you know my friendship went up to 132? Archaladon can be a pain sometimes. A physical attacking build, Archaladon, my Megastar Raptor can actually one-shot those with close combat. It's really freaking good. I've been trying to play around with Mega Electros. The main problem with Mega Electros is its low speed. Alright, we don't learn Hone Claws, unfortunately. I'm going to do some of these trainers because I do think we might actually need... I was going to say maybe we need level 29 for Grant, but no, we get Rock Smash. Here's the problem, like, we need to get to a point where we're confident that Rock Smash can one-shot the Amora. I'm not worried about the Tyrant, it's the Amora I'm worried about. It has an ability called Refrigerate where its takedown turns into an ice move, which is gonna hurt. I actually used Archaludon a lot during Scarlet and Violet 6v6s. I mean, I do like 6v6s too. But sometimes there's an interesting... There are fun things about 3v3s. Imp Knight calls King Gambit King Toilet. If 4 times effective and stab from an adamant mon, I wouldn't worry. Oh. What are we talking about, Eel? Oh, about Grant. Yeah, you're probably right though. I might be overestimating him this time. I prefer 3v3. You have 6 mons but limited to 3, and so are they. It makes for some interesting plays because you have to guess what they're going to take. Yeah, and it does nerf some strategies though. Shadow just takes competitive too. He's one of those people that really takes competitive seriously. He's also one of those people that just will always say, like, anything Pokemon does nowadays is just automatically garbage. Like, he hated Legends EA so much that he pretty much will not give Game Freak any more chances with any other game ever again. Like, if a new game from them comes out, like, he will just straight up not play it and just say he's done. He just won't. He was that pissed off at it. I slightly prefer... Yeah, I know you prefer doubles. I do not. I'm not a fan of doubles. I didn't hate Gen 8. I just thought it was mid. Yeah, I know doubles have very cool strats you can do. Oh shit, I still haven't bought repels yet. Alright, I believe... Yeah, Meteor. Yeah, that's the place where you would change Deoxys' form. Oh, Masters, are you still, are you still interested in me doing X version with Deoxys? Or did you still want to stick with, X-Cloud? Because it would actually be very interesting to play with, the ability to use those meteorites. We get Shadowclaw? We do not. You want Deoxys? Okay. Let's see. You want Deoxys. John wants Gengar. What was the other one I said I'd do? Excadrill. That's what it was. I did also want to play AZ's Floette in X and Y before leaving to Oras, so I'll probably do 2 extra X and Y streams. I'll do Excadrill versus Gengar. And I'll pair Deoxys with Floette. Oh, great. Should have bought some healing items. It's really risky going in here without buying healing items. Man, that was close. You know what's funny? Your rival here never bothers healing the fossil. Well, the reason I'm pairing them up 2v2 is because I want to get the re-ranks done as soon as possible. Too much code? What are you talking about? I don't have to do any backports. AZ's Floette is actually in the code of X and Y. It was just never released. Same with Light of Ruin. It's programmed into Gen 6. Yeah, it is going to be very interesting to play Deoxys because I will have the ability to change forms whenever I want. I would probably only mainly do it to access specific level up moves. Actually, here's a question. I don't know if anyone would know the answer to this, but if Deoxys changes forms, do your level up moves get reset? Alright, massage. Plus 10. Nice. That was a lucky plus 10. You know, I probably should have used Fake Out. I need to start using Fake Out more. To be fair, though, it was Deoxys's first ever generation, so that was probably what they were thinking they were going to do, but then when Gen 4 came out, they're like, yeah, this is pretty stupid. We're not doing this anymore. Really dumb this thing can't learn Thief. All mind, no. Alright, so hopefully level 25, Rock Smash should one-shot the Amora. It does, okay. And unlike Aegislash, this fight was actually easy. And we can learn this move. Return, Rock Smash, and Rock Tomb. Okay moves. How fast is Karina's Halucha? I have no idea. Oh, in Geosench Town, I need to pick up Payback. Hold on, yeah, no, I'm fine. Apparently 87 speed. Okay, that's good. Not a big deal. Dang it. Thankfully I taught Rock Tomb, otherwise I'd have nothing for those ghosts. Alright, we are very likely gonna get Force Palm by level up. Teach over Rock Tomb for now. Hold on, I'm actually gonna go... Is the Team Flare Grunt still here? Yeah. I'm gonna train on this route just a little bit to get level 29. There we go, that was quick. Force Palm, there we go. So what's a Psycho Boost do for Deoxys? I remember I looked at that move and thought it was bad. Okay, I'm gonna need to probably use a Swords Dance here. I mean, I think their models look a lot better in Scarlet and Violet, maybe? It's overheat, basically? Ah. So I probably wouldn't want to use that. Dang it. Right. What other moves do we get by level up? Level 33, Drain Punch. Yeah, I'll teach Drain Punch over Force Palm and then eventually teach Low Sweep over it. You know what's been funny? As of lately, that iron that I always pick up isn't really good for the sake of defense EVs. It's great for boosting my friendship to get Lucky Egg, because a bunch of runs I was a tiny bit of friendship short on getting the Lucky Egg, and the iron helped. Be careful with counter. I will make sure to save. Use payback. Force Palm. Also, if I wanted to, I could purchase Dig. Which, honestly, it might help with the electric gym. So I'm going to grab it just in case. I mean, I could get Poison Jab here if I wanted, but I don't think Poison Jab's going to be that good. Oh, that sock doesn't have Sturdy. Interesting. .105 seems good enough to run a mine. Seems fast enough to not need a plus speed nature. This thing could theoretically get away with a minus speed nature, honestly. Maybe not. No. Swords Dance. I don't know if I saw this earlier, but I don't want to keep spamming. But if you do a third Aegislash run Shadow Claw for the Elite Four. How about Shadow Sneak? Shadow Sneak could have helped, yeah. Now we want to outspeed Hawlucha. Yeah, true. Flying Press would do super effective damage. Alright, I'm going to go get a Low Sweep. But the question is, do I want to teach it over Drain Punch? Probably not yet. Actually, here's the thing. Like, Drain Punch has 10 PP, which is annoying, but I'm mostly spamming Return. So honestly, I probably won't teach it for now. But it's good to grab just in case. What the hell did Masters just do? Sent a silver star? What? What is that? What? What is this? Sent star for 2 jewels? What? What is this? A waste of money? Was it like... I know you could pay money, like, instead of a super chat, you could, like, do a super sticker. But I never seen anyone do the sticker. Is that a sticker? Yeah, I have no idea what that is. You didn't spend any money on that? Yeah, I have no idea what you just did. I'll have to look that up. What? You don't need to say sorry. I'm just curious what it is. Dang it. Alright, 249 friendship. I think with one more level up, 252. You know what? Y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to use that iron. Yep, we're at 253 friendship, so I'll use that iron to boost the friendship up. Alright, the thing is, do I want to save Scum for acrobatics? I'm gonna PP up Drain Punch. I think I might save Scum acrobatics. I think I wanted it just for Ramos. Nope. That's Confide. Try that again. Nope, that's Trick Room. That's Embargo. There we go. Here's acrobatics. Alright, so it did take 3 resets to get it, but this could help. But the thing is, Aerial Ace would be too much to backtrack for. And there is no way in hell I'm using Bounce. That move sucks. But yeah, I think for Ramos... Honestly, it might be worth unequipping the egg just so it's 110 power, but at the same time, I can set up Swords Dance relatively free. So honestly, I think I'm fine with it being 55 power. Jump kick. No. Actually, nah, yeah, my answer's still no. Alright, I'm gonna use acrobatics here. I know it's only going to be 55 power, but it'll be an effective power of 110 because it's super effective. I'm going to unequip the egg, actually. this guy any good to train on? He's okay, I guess. Faster than a double battle? Well, I wouldn't accept the double battle. I would have to withdraw the HM users, go get Aegislash, then immediately deposit them again. Either that or just accept the double battle. Alright, note, this way I probably won't have to bother with Swords Dance. Hopefully I won't need to. Nope, I won't need to. Alright, flying coverage isn't really that good in X and Y, so I'm gonna unteach that for probably Dig. I think I might want Dig for those little swallots. Oh, nice. Return one-shot Skullbats. That's good. So, how's everybody doing? Whoops, wrong move. Dig. Alright, so if we use our previous run's knowledge for this run, inside of Lumio City, if we were to use either Lucky Egg or Amulet Coin, only do the floors with the Rising Stars and the Cool Trainers, or Ace Trainers. Ignore the other ones. Alright, so what's more valuable here? XP or money? Honestly, we really don't need much money for vitamins, so I'd say keep the lucky egg. But the thing is, do I want to fight optionals? I think I'll just fight the cool trainers. Yeah, I got about a level and a half doing these 3 trainers. I'd say it was worth it. Yeah, not these trainers. These trainers stink. Alright guys, here's a serious question. Do you think that this Pokemon can beat Delphox? Yeah, Rock Tomb would have been better for this fight, simply just to avoid the, you know, static chance. But we will definitely want Rock Tomb for... hello, Bracker. You think it will? I think so as well, yeah. This, even without Swords Dance, this thing is one-shotting a lot of stuff. Like, one-shotting all those Golbats with Return is impressive. Golbat loves surviving attacks. It's what they're known for. How's it going? It's going pretty good. I mean, this is my second X and Y playthrough today. But I'm getting a lot better at this game. It's basically a better Lucario. Honestly, I would say it's better than Lucario. You know why I say it's better than Lucario? One reason only. It doesn't have a fire and a ground weakness. Yeah, Mienshao is very goated, yeah. The reason people don't use this thing is because it takes forever to evolve. Yeah. Alright, proteins. Get 2 of those, 3 carbos, and, probably some HP ups, I think. I'll get like 6 HP ups. And I'll buy the rest in 31 max repels, 6 full restores. And I don't really need money for the rest of the game, so I'm just going to continue holding the lucky egg. Well, it's not taking the time, Dominic. It evolves in the 50s. Gets its highest level is 54. Also, when I get that second PP up inside of the Frost Cavern, I'll need to use it on Drain Punch. So I'll have 14 Drain Punches. That Slurpuff actually could have been pretty risky, not gonna lie. I mean, so far, in terms of resets, we're only at 3 resets into this game, and it was just because I wanted Acrobatics. Acrobatics probably wasn't necessary for Ramos. Actually, it may have been necessary, because I would have had to use a Swords Dance, and his Jumpluff has Acrobatics with no held item. It would have done a lot of damage to us. So honestly, I think using a boosted Acrobatics was probably the only way I was going to one-shot it. Because Jumpluff has good bulk. Rock Tomb? Yeah, let's teach Rock Tomb now before I forget. Yeah, get rid of Dig. I think Dig is only really useful for the Electric Gym. Alright, these are... Celosia and Bryony. Is that their names? Celosia and Bryony? Celosia? Celosia Bryony. Dude, why do these people have such awful names? Some of the cutest Pokemon are dangerous. Yeah, like Beware. Haven't you ever seen those Sun and Moon episodes? Sadly, the Fairy Gym's very incompetent. Yeah. I believe Opal's Fairy-type gym was way better. I don't remember from Sword and Shield, but I don't remember what Opal's team was. Yeah, there's a reason most people remember Mabel. I think I saw that episode, Dominic. I think I did. It was definitely a huge crime for the other girls not to reappear in the DLC. It was a huge crime. I'm actually surprised with that Jigglypuff, that marker still had ink in it. Oh, when John was asking earlier about Rock Slide and I mentioned it was behind Waterfall, Stone Edge is also locked behind Waterfall. I also remember that she had 87 years. What are you talking 87 years for? Was that Mabel's prison sentence, but she got out early for parole? Better than that, Dominic. Do you remember? Have you ever seen the episode like at the start of the where was it? Yeah, the start of the Orange Islands arc, when Brock decides to stay behind on one of the islands to be with that professor. But then by the time the Orange Islands episodes ended, Brock joined the team again. And then when Ash and Misty tried to ask about that professor, he would not explain what happened. He just gets really upset when you mentioned her name, Professor Ivy. And you said Ivy, he's like, oh, that name. He just acts all upset, and no one knows what happened. I have the entire Orange Islands on DVD. I got it as a kid and watched the whole thing. Honestly, an interesting theory would be maybe Ivy's had a husband and was like overseas or something and then came back. Yeah, I remember that Sun and Moon episode. I remember when Ash mentioned he won gym badges, and then Brock and Misty were like, not exactly. And then all his classmates were like, what do they mean by that? Trying to reference the fact that, like, against, like, Brock and Misty, Ash technically never won those gym battles. That was Reflect. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Reset. First legitimate reset. Alright, I need payback. Actually, then again, Rock Tomb had better power, and it still wasn't enough. Alright, so now here's what I'm going to do. I got that reset because of Light Screen. So, or Reflect. If I get hit with Reflect again, I'm just going to reset. I'm going to use Swords Dance right away. Reflect. Okay, one more. Light Screen, one more. Okay, we'll see how well this goes. Reflect wore off. Okay, I was still able to win. I had to set up to +6. So what was ahead? Who was ahead at the point Aegislash or Mienshao? Very, very, very likely Mienshao. Aegislash had a blackout in Frost Cavern, and it had a bunch of resets to grant. I believe by the time the hour mark hit, I think Aegislash was fighting the rival in front of the gym. Yeah, it was definitely a better call to keep Drain Punch over Low Sweep. Like, the healing is really helpful. You don't fight the first and the fourth floors. It's the floors with the... It's the floor with the Rising Stars and the Ace Trainers. Those specific trainer classes. Those are the ones you want to fight. Oh my god, stop doing that. Mienshao's 3 minutes ahead of Delphox. That is insane, dude. That is so insane. I mean, what can I say? Like, fighting types are very, very good. And remember, this thing started with Pound and Fake Out. Its starting moveset was not great. Maybe next time I go in that healing room, I might find a Matang. I'm glad you did my Mienshao request. Here's the thing. I was gonna do it anyway. Oh my god. Okay, I want to go down that one. I want to get the rare candy in here. So I am a little worried about Lysander too. Okay, dude. There we go. Were fighting types even good in Gen 2? Not really. They were better than Gen 1, yes, but the problem was with the fighting types is not the best fighting moves. Yeah, Talonflame and Chandelure was pretty rough for Aegislash. I thought I needed Quick Claw, but apparently, sometimes you can actually survive Flare Blitz. You know what, though? It was an extraordinarily good thing with Aegislash I invested in Irons and HP ups, because those definitely mattered. That was a little sketchy. Okay, I'm gonna use my candies here. Yep, hit the red button. Fun fact, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, when Lysander makes you choose the red or the blue button, they both do the exact same thing. Yep, her Houndoom leveled down and ate a Doom Seed for Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I've been starting to notice in these X and Y runs, it's usually better to use your rare candies during the Team Flare section, instead of saving them for last. Because whether you save them for last, or use them like during the Flare section, you're going to be over-leveled to the league no matter what. And you'd rather just have an easier time against, like, the Lysander fights, the battle with your friends. The battle with your friends can actually be tough because you got to do them back-to-back. So having the candies before them is pretty good. I don't think he brought the weapon with him. I think he was going to fire the ultimate weapon of that world. Which, oddly enough, would have been already fired. Yeah, it probably would have been destroyed. Because here's the thing, like, it was the second firing of that weapon that created the Mega Stones that were discovered in Oras. Or it's a theory at least, because the theory is like it was the firing of the weapon the first time where Mega Evolution was discovered. It was because of that weapon being fired. And it would be safe to assume that when Lysander fired it again, it created more Megas in Oras. And then in Legend ZA, when Hyper Rogue Angie Floette was going haywire, it was sort of like the ultimate weapon. So that's what created new Megas in the DLC. Actually, not just the Oras Megas, but it also introduced new Megas in ZA, like Mega Holucha, for example. I like to believe that theory, at least. All right. Well, Dominic, that wouldn't make sense. The reason that wouldn't make sense is because the Oras versions never owned the primal forms. They never did. You know, I never understood why the battlefield for this specific fight had to be fire. Maybe he wanted to be like, what was that guy from, Dr. Octavius. Dude, that's not fair. Kevin Durant jumped out of there. I'm gonna skip the rare candy that's here. I don't think we need any more candies. I think we want acrobatics for Diantha. It would help for Hawlucha so we can avoid Swords Dance. Oh, does anyone plan to see the new Spider-Man, a new, what's it called? The new Spider-Man, a New World? Or not New World, A New Home? There's a new Spider-Man movie that's coming out, I think, in July. I do plan on seeing it. I've seen Far From Home a couple years ago. I thought it was really good. Maybe it was A New Hope? No, that sounds like a Star Wars episode. I don't remember. Yeah, this battle with your friends here can actually be pretty rough if you don't use the candies. Dude, that thing always paralyzes me. Uh-oh. Dude, Trevor almost killed me. It was Brand New Day. Oh, that's what it's called. I do need to rewatch the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. I've only vaguely seen Spider-Man 2 when I was very, very young, and I barely remember it. But I should rewatch them at some point. Yeah, I liked No Way Home. I thought it was really good. You know, I was just taking a quick glance at the TM section. Has anyone ever noticed that you can get Hyper Beam, like Giga Impact is in the postgame? Or Reflected Light Screen. I remember a long time ago, Axie was helping me plant some X and Y Pokemon. I think it was Klefki, and he was really irritated when he found out Reflect and Light Screen were only in the post-game. I've only vaguely used Giga Impact or Hyper Beam in my solo runs. I mean, Hyper Beam has had use in Platinum because of how early you could purchase it. We do need a Swords Dance anyway. So what would Acrobatics be useful for then? Yeah, I just really liked Spider-Man as a kid. Fun fact, one of my oldest, you could call them stuffed animals that I still have to this day. It's in storage somewhere. It's an actual Spider-Man. You know, it has its hands doing the little web slingy thing. And I've owned it for legitimately as long as I can remember. Gourgeist? Okay, that makes sense, because otherwise we wouldn't have good coverage. Also, I think I said this in a previous run, but I'm going to start skipping the rare candy in Victory Road, because that rare candy comes at a point where you just do not need more coverage. Uh-oh. This thing is doing ZA Mega Room strats. It used Trick or Treat. It is insane. It's only an hour 13 into this run. It's actually insane. Also, Fake Out prevented the flinch, or Inner Focus prevented the flinch, so I was able to set up twice. Remember the bayonet? I have Rock Tomb still. Maybe I should have taught Acro. Oh, damn it. Well, our first blackout. Literally because of paralysis and Leaf Blade. Was that Leaf Blade a crit or something? Well, first blackout. I didn't think I needed to save for that, dude. Like, Mienshao has been completely crushing this game. I didn't think I needed to save. But I guess I'll need to now. Alright, yeah, let's teach Payback for this. Dude, that Leaf Blade didn't do much. That Leaf Blade had to have crit. Alright, I'm going to teach acrobatics now. The Elite 3. Yeah, pretty much. These fighting types aren't going to struggle with this woman. What growth rate does it have? I believe it has medium fast. Alright, I'm gonna probably start with Cybold. Oh, it's medium slow. Oh, okay. That's really good. Actually, acrobatics would have been better than return. The level was so high. I mean, yeah, but this is X and Y after all. Alright, Drosna next. Funnily believe that this move is more powerful than Return. Return is essentially just here for coverage only. Ow. Thankfully it didn't go for Torment. Oh, that's a problem. Well then. Okay, I need to teach Payback. And Rock Tomb, probably. Alright, I'm gonna re-equip, probably Expert Belt. Spikes. How useful. Honestly, I'd say out of the 4 Elite 4 members, on average, the top 2 hardest I would probably... Who do you guys think is harder on average, Malva or Wickstrom? Because Malva is difficult because of her high speed, but Wickstrom's difficult, especially if that Klefki uses Torment, and he does have a sturdy user, and the Aegislash is very powerful. Wickstrom because of the steel type. You know, I'm starting to leaning towards that statement. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Wickstrom. If you outspeed Malva, she's easy. But Wickstrom, for a lot of Pokemon, can actually be hard. Yeah, King Shield as well. I'm not going to bother with Acrobatics. I think Payback will be good enough. Wickstrom, Malva, then the Chef, and Drosna. I agree with Drosna being the worst. $123.12. This is a... What is this, like a 7 or so minute improvement compared to the last run? Honestly, cycling through those 6 Pokemon kind of takes a bit. I wonder if it's worth depositing. I don't know. It's not like the animation's slow. Yep, it's now first place. That was with the double victory road and the reset to Wickstrom. Fighting types are superior to Psychic types. Absolutely. After Gen 5, Psychic types really fell off. Just a very huge abundance of Dark types. In Generation 7, they're not that good either. And AZ is never seen from again in this game. Literally in X and Y, AZ's never seen again. You will be Mind Floet. Joke's on you, I already have one. Axew actually has 2 of them. He made a new save just to get another one, which is pretty funny. Alright, let's edit our old Mienshao. Oh, dude, the frickin' software's buggy out. Sometimes Scott's tier list software bugs out and I can't edit anything, so I have to close and reopen it. $12/9/2025. Alright, real time from 1:31:30 to 1:23:12. From level 77 to level 80. 5 resets to 5 resets, 0 blackouts to 1 blackout. So I've gotten the same amount of resets plus an extra blackout. 5:31 game time. Alright, there we go. Look at that. First place by by about 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Drain Punch was indeed better than Power Up Punch. It was better than Low Sweep. I was considering deleting it for Low Sweep for PP reasons, but the passive healing was really good. But yeah, this Pokemon just completely destroyed. But yeah, this is a pretty efficient stream. Thank y'all for stopping by, everyone. I do appreciate it. The next stream should be tomorrow, I believe. We'll do more X and Y re-ranks. You'll have to see what the 2 Pokemon are on the schedule. Actually, I don't think I released the schedule on YouTube. I think I only released it in Discord. Give me a sec. I'll show it all to you. Delphox was trash compared to it. I mean, Delphox had some problems. It had problems with Grant, for example. Tomorrow, we're going to be re-ranking Granbull and Klefki. Remember, though, there was a point where Klefki was actually first place. And you want to know why? It beat the game at level 100. It was in the fast level up group and Lucky Egg. Klefki destroyed this game. I do think Klefki can easily... I think Klefki could rival Xerneas. Yeah, we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you all later.